Hello darlings, Brittany here from Library of the Night. Welcome to part 2 of my February book haul. As I have mentioned in the previous video, I bought 33 books this month and I decided to split these videos up because I feel like nobody wants to watch an hour-long video. So if you're still watching, you're awesome, and I'm going to continue right on. November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I have seen her books all over Instagram forever and ever, and it seems like people really like her books. I've never read anything by her, so I'm pretty excited to try it, and if I do like it, I may purchase her other books. We'll see what happens. But this, I believe, is a YA contemporary, and this is what the book says. Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist, the day of her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same date every year. Oh, that sounds super sweet. Oh. Okay. Until one day, Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Can Ben's relationship with Fallon and simultaneously his novel be considered a love story if it ends in heartbreak? Okay, I might understand why a lot of people like her books because that sounds really cute. I feel like I might be starting to grow out of contemporaries, but I'm going to give it a shot and we'll see, how I feel about it. Okay, next up we've got Atlantis Rising by T.A. Barron. I bought this honestly just because it had the name Atlantis in it. I, as a child, grew up loving Atlantis, and I used to watch, all the documentaries on it. I still try to watch them, but I was very super obsessive about it when I was younger and kind of grew out of that, but I'm really excited to read anything about Atlantis, so we will see what happens. I believe that this is a YA book, but it could also be middle grade. I'm not 100% sure, but here's what the jacket says. Enter the magical land of Elegandia. I'm totally saying that wrong, but I'm going to continue to say it that way because I can't see how you can pronounce it another way. Land of Lost Dreams, home of creatures most bizarre and portal to the realm of spirits. Here, a young boy named Promi scrapes by, stealing pies and cakes to survive. But when he is thrown into a dungeon for his crimes, he learns of a prophecy that foretells that he will save Elegandia from evil, but only at the price of ending all magic in the world. Promi wants no part in this prophecy, but because of a courageous girl named Atlanta, he is pulled into an ages-old war that has greater repercussions than what he could have possibly imagined. Evil can be defeated, but at what cost? So this really reminds me kind of Percy Jackson, just because of the prophecy element. I'm hoping there's some kind of magic in there or something. But it sounds pretty cool. I will try it out and see. I'm not sure if this is going to be a series or not, but I will try it and see if I like it. Okay, I am really excited about this. So, this is a series. I'm not quite sure how many books are in this series, but I'm hoping that there's a lot of them so I can savor them because I feel like I'm going to fall in love with this so very much. And I'm really pumped to read it. So that is Killer Instinct and Killer Within by S.E. Green. I bought these solely based on the fact that they kind of remind me of Dexter. I'm a huge fan of the show Dexter. If you guys haven't watched it, it's great. It's about a serial killer, and I'm super obsessed with anything like that because it's great to psychologically learn what's going on in their minds and kind of like the thrill of seeing if they're gonna get caught or whatever. So I'm just gonna read the synopsis off of the first one and not spoil anything for the second because that's a bummer and I hate when people do that. So this is what the synopsis says. Lane is a typical teenager, loving family, good grades, after-school job at the local animal hospital, martial arts enthusiast. But Her secret obsession is studying serial killers. Oh yeah. She understands them, knows what makes them tick. Why? Because she might be one herself. Lane channels her dark impulses by hunting criminals, delivering justice when the law fails. Okay, this really sounds like Dexter. The vigilante stops shy of murder, but with each rush, the line of self-control blurs, and then a young preschool teacher goes missing, only to return in parts. When Lane excitingly gets involved in the hunt for the decapitator, the vicious serial murderer who has come to her hometown, she gets dangerously caught up in a web of lies about her birth dad and her own dark past. And once the decapitator contacts Lane directly, Lane knows she is no longer invisible or safe. Now she needs to use her unique talents to find the true killer's identity before she or someone she loves becomes the next victim. Okay, so the decapitator totally sounds like the ice truck killer in Dexter. I'm wondering if this is written by the same author as Dexter. I know that those were based off of books, and I don't know who the author is, but I'm really wondering if this is who wrote it. If not, I hope it's not like a ripoff of Dexter or, you know, like something like that. Hopefully it's like an ode to Dexter or something. But I'm really, really, really excited to read that. If you guys know of any like YA murder mysteries, let me know because I will jump all over that. That's like my second favorite thing in the world. Okay, so next I have got this Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and I'm very excited to read this because I just read her Shades of Magic trilogy and absolutely fell in love with her writing style and the world that she built, the plot line, the characters. I loved everything about it, so I'm really, really excited to read this. This is a YA dystopian, I believe, also probably a fantasy. I could be wrong. But I'm going to read what the jacket says. Kate Harker wants to be as ruthless as her father. After 5 years in 6 boarding schools, she's finally going home to prove that she can be. August Flynn wants to be human, but he isn't. He's a monster, one that can steal souls with a song. Steal souls with a song. Epic. He's one of the 3 most powerful monsters in a city overrun with them, his own father's secret weapon. Their city is divided. Their city is crumbling. Kate and August are the only 2 who see both sides, but only 2 who could do something. But how do you decide to be a hero or a villain when it's hard to tell which is which? Oh, that sounds really good. V.E. Schwab is somebody that I would read whatever she writes because I fell in love with Shades of Magic. So I'm really excited to read that. I know that it's a duology, and I think the second book came out last year. So that's definitely going to be very high on my list. I'm very excited. Okay, next we've got the Dorothy Must Die series. I believe this is book 1 and book 2, and it's Dorothy Must Die and the Wicked Will Rise. This is by Danielle Page. I have it wrapped up in here and I haven't opened it yet, but I don't know 100% on what this entire series is about. I do know that it is based loosely off of The Wizard of Oz, which sounds really cool. I'm probably going to ruin everyone's day by saying this, but I'm not the biggest fan of The Wizard of Oz. I bought these because they were super cheap and also because I know so many people that like them. So I'm going to give it a try. I really like the movies. I did try reading the books and I just couldn't vibe to them. So maybe, maybe I just wasn't in the mood, or maybe I need a retelling like this for me to get into it. So I'm excited to read it. Hopefully it's good. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I will try it. I can give it that, and we can see. Okay, next for the series that I got these from Book Outlet as well. And this is, I'm not sure what the name of the series is. I want to say it's like the Inventor's Trilogy or something along those lines. But this is The Inventor's Secret, The Conjurer's Riddle, and The Turncoat's Gambit. These are all by Andrea Kremer, and I am just going to read the synopsis from the first book so I don't ruin the second and the third. But let me just say that these are absolutely stunning. I love the covers. I do believe that this is somewhat like steampunk, which is very exciting because there really isn't that many books based off steampunk. So I'm excited to read these. So this is the synopsis from the first book. The tables have turned in a world where Britannia, oh my God, she kind of almost has my name. That's really exciting. You know, that's kind of funny because my parents almost named me Britannica after the encyclopedias, but they decided to shorten it and just name me Brittany. So I'm really excited because the name Brittany is, I guess, like too generic to be in books, or especially like fantasy, YA books, you know. So I'm pumped now. Now I really want to read this solely based on that, plus steampunk. So that sounds like a win-win for me. Okay, I'm going to reread that because I totally just rambled here. The tables have turned in a world where Britannia rules the colonies with an iron fist and revolutionaries are hanged for treason. A group of rebels risks everything to fight against a future that could kill them all. That sounds really good. And she almost has my name. So I like it. I like it already. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm hopefully going to split this into one more part. It might be 2 more parts. So if you're still there, you're awesome, and I love you. And here's the next book. So this is The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. Michael actually picked this for my, my boyfriend picks my March TBR. And I know he picked this because he gives me a lot of crap for buying series and not reading them. And I do own the first one. I bought both of them on Book Outlet at separate times, but I'm excited because I've heard really good things about it. I'm not going to read the synopsis of it because, again, this is the second book, but I will give you what I know about the first book, and that is it's a YA fantasy, also with a little bit of historical fiction, you know, in there a little bit, and it's about Russia. There is people who I don't want to say they're magicians, but I think they're called enchanters, something like that. And I believe that there's some kind of duel going on where they have to compete. And I think it's called The Crown's Game is the actual name of the competition. And I'm not quite sure anything else besides that. That's all I know. That's all I've got. I don't want to read into it too much again because if I read what's on this, I'm going to ruin it for the first one and then I'm not going to want to read it. So, yeah, it sounds pretty cool though. I'm excited. The covers are absolutely beautiful. The first one, I don't have it on hand. It's over there somewhere. It's actually really pretty too. So, that was part 2. I am going to move forward and start another video for part 3. So again, thank you if you're still here and watching me, and I'll see you in just a second.